Sorry to break up the movie talk. It is 7 p.m. We are now going to call to order the June 12th, 2025 regular board meeting. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we have the roll call, please?
Vice President Ruffing?
Here.
Commissioner Anzier?
Here.
Commissioner Balakrishna?
Here.
Commissioner Jacks?
Here.
Commissioner Janner?
Here.
Commissioner Risvold?
Here.
Commissioner Thompson?
Here.
Do we have any matters from the public?
We do not.
Okay, first up is the annual comprehensive financial report.
All right, good evening. Tonight, Brian Lefevre, principal with Sickage, is here to present to you the annual comprehensive report in a draft form. The final report will be brought to you at the June 26th meeting for acceptance. And Brian will explain the timing of publishing the final report as well as answer any questions that you may have. Okay, and now I'll turn it over to Brian. Thank you, Brian.
Good evening. On behalf of Sickage, I'd like to thank the President and members of the board for inviting us to present the draft report from the audit of the district for your year ended December 31st, 2024. Just to give you a little background, the draft of your report was actually done and completed on time in March. The management discussion and analysis letter transmittal and feedback from the finance department staff was received, and everything was ready to go in April. And what happens is there's information in your audit that relies on information from IMRF's audit, namely the net pension liability that's required to be reported on your financial statements under one of the financial reporting standards, GASB Statement 68. Their audit's not finalized, meaning IMRF, and therefore we're waiting for their audit to be finalized. They have the same June 30th deadline. They had a draft report presented to their board a week and a half ago. We were notified by the executive director that the report would still be done in June, so we're waiting with a lot of clients for being able to finalize 1231 reports. So your report will not change at all. We've been told that IMRF's report won't change at all, but there must be some I's that need to be dotted on that audit side. So just wanted to make sure I explained that to you. So what happens after your report? After we receive that IMRF report, then the last part of the audit is we issue what's called the management representation letter for Brad and Tricia to sign, which basically says that the district gave us everything that we needed to complete our audit. So that's really the final step that happens. Then we produce your final electronic copies, and then you'll also have hard copies available for you as well. So with that background, we'll walk through a few highlights of the annual comprehensive financial report. In its final form, you'll see in the hard copy, you'll see tabs for introductory, financial, and statistical section. Those are the three sections of the annual comprehensive financial report. What's required under Illinois compiled statutes for an audit is all contained in the financial section of the report. What makes it a comprehensive report is that introductory and statistical section. Within the introductory section, there's an award that the district has received since 1991. It's from the Government Finance Officers Association. It's the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is the highest level of reporting for local governments, such as the district, so you should all be commended for your participation. What it does is it sets your report apart in terms of, like, when you go out to bond for projects, for example, when the bond market sees the report as a comprehensive report with that award, it puts you at a different level in terms of solidifying that solid bond rating that you have. The independent auditor's report, obviously in its final form, will be on Sickage letterhead. It'll be dated. I'm happy to report that we're issuing an unmodified opinion. What that means is that the financial statements are reported in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, free of material misstatement. It's the highest level of opinion that you can receive. In order to receive that opinion, we follow two sets of standards: the auditing standards that are issued by the AICPA, the American Institute for Certified Public Accountants. Those standards tell us the types of procedures we need to perform when we're conducting our audit. And then the second set of standards comes from GASB, the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, which tells us how things need to be reported on your financial statements. There's one new item after the independent auditor's report this year, and that's a separate independent auditor's report on your compliance with governmental auditing standards. Specifically, the reason for that report is there's two sets of compliance requirements that you have to comply with each and every audit. One is if you expend more than $750,000 in federal grant money, you have a federal single audit. You did not have any federal grants, but rather this year you had 4 DCEO grants that you expended dollars for various park projects. The state has another layer of rules that was enacted, I think we're over 5 years now, the Governmental Accountability and Transparency Act. And what that act requires is if you're above $500,000 in expenditures of state and federal awards combined, you're subject to that audit. And basically that opinion tells you that we didn't identify any material weaknesses in internal controls over financial reporting, which is good news. And then also that you were compliant with all laws and regulations that could have a material impact on your financial statements. So things like adopting a Budget and Appropriation Act, having purchasing policies, those kinds of things. So that was all good news as well. There's a separate report that also goes along with that where we basically put an opinion on the schedule of grant information that is uploaded to the state with that GATA filing. The document, I realize, is very lengthy. The management discussion analysis is the executive summary, which comes after those independent auditors reports, and that's prepared by the district. That's really in my opinion, the starting point in this document. It compares 2023 and 2024. It's attempted to be in layman's terms and also comply with those GASB standards. Within the financial statements themselves, what you'll find is that all of your fund balances, meaning your reserves at the end of the year, were all in conformance with your fund balance policy. So that means the district is in sound financial condition. In addition, you'll see the revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances. Those two statements, I'd say, are the ones to focus on in terms of your review, and that's most comparable to what you see throughout the year in your monthly financial reports. In the last thing I'll bring to your attention is in the required supplementary information section. There's information related to IMRF, the pension plan of the district. The plan is very well funded. Why is it well funded? Because everyone has to put in their fair share each and every month based on their own census or population of employees and beneficiaries that are in the plan. The district's share was 6.16% of payroll this year, or I should say in 2024, and 4.5% is the statutory employee share. The plan was, as of 12/31/24, based on the market value of the assets, was 96% funded, so it's a very well-funded plan. Those are what I'd consider to be the highlights of the report. Like I said, the audit went very smoothly and on a timely basis. I always like to give you feedback. Your staff are very professional, easy to work with, and really make the audit go smoothly along with our team. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I don't think there's any questions because
All right.
you did such a good job of reporting it, and thank you. That's so nice to hear that staff and this all went so smoothly. Clearly, the detail and is there, and it certainly gives me confidence that this is a very well put together report. So thank you very much, and thank you for being here tonight.
You're
and
welcome.
Talking it through with us. We appreciate it.
Yep, we enjoy working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to updates and reports. Riverwalk, there's no report, and Finance Committee, there's no report. Legislative Committee,
No report.
Parks and Recreation Committee.
All right, so the Parks and Rec Committee met this evening prior to tonight's meeting here. We got some information about the Capital Projects Open House event that will be coming up. There was a really good response to from the community on what to do with the Centennial Park Detention Basin as far as the volleyball courts and the ice rinks are concerned. It had over 900 responses, which is great. So they're really working on some really great ideas about what to do with the ice rink and the volleyball court there going forward, and also information about the DuPage River Complex Trail and walkway repaving. Contract will be coming shortly. I'm trying to mix the two words together from that. The great increase in the amount of participants in the camps this summer, as well as we're seeing a greater increase now in the beach membership now that things are getting warmer. The concerts in your parks have been announced and are going on, as well as the lunchtime concerts. The junior golf program is up and going now with the golf courses. We got some really great feedback from the Bolingbrook Chamber of Commerce on an event they held at the golf course over the weekend. We got some new software developments coming up, which if you're into IT, that's awesome. And then testing out the drone over the golf courses. There's some other interesting things coming up. So the next meeting of the Parks and Rec Committee will be on July 10th at 5:45 here at Fort Hill.
Thank you. No board president report. So Executive Director, you're up.
Thank you, Vice President Ruffing. The Park District is continuing its annual tradition of hosting 3 free outdoor fitness programs this summer. Morning yoga on June 21st, Zumba party in the park on July 11th, and morning meditation on August 9th. All programs will take place at the 95th Street Community Plaza at various times. While these programs are free to participate in, advanced registration for each class is required. The Naperville Park District and the City of Naperville are co-hosting the annual Naperville Community Fireworks Show presented by Woody Buick GMC on Friday, July 4th at Frontier Sports Complex. The show will begin at 9:30 p.m. and attendees can watch the show from within the park or from their vehicle. Prior to the fireworks, the Naperville Municipal Band will perform a free concert at 7:30 p.m. at the Wagner Family Pavilion at 95th Street Community Plaza, located adjacent to the 95th Street Library. The band will get everyone in the spirit for the fireworks show with a selection of patriotic music. Registration for Fall Naperville Youth Soccer and Naperville Premier Soccer League is well underway, having begun in early May. Teams are still forming, so registration is still available, but interested participants are encouraged to register before the end of June. Additional information on our programs, facilities, several summer events, and other Naperville Park District news can be found on napervilleparks.org. Thank you.
Great, thank you. On to Treasurer's report.
Move to approve the April 2025 Treasurer's Report.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Anzier?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Balakrishna?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yes.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes. All right, on to consent agenda. Will you please read the consent agenda, Marissa?
Item 6.1, approve May 2025 disbursements in the amount of $1,921,869.31. 6.2, approve May 2025 disbursements made through the Bank of America Purchasing Card Program in the amount of $369,394.38. 6.3, approve May 2025 FinTech disbursements in the amount of $11,658.12. 6.4, approve May 2025 customer refunds in the amount of $1,149.24. 6.5, approve May 22, 2025 regular meeting minutes. 6.6, approve District's 3-year financial plan, 2025 to 2027. 6.7, reject the bid from J&K Painting for failure to submit a responsive and responsible bid and move to award the contract for the Centennial Beach Shallow Area Painting Project to A+ Painters, Inc. with the lowest responsive and responsible bid in the amount of $129,000 and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $135,450. 6.8, reject the bid from Strata Construction Company for failure to submit a responsive bid. Move to award the contract for the district-wide concrete improvements project to Veritas Inc. in the amount of $44,317 and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $46,533. 6.9, accept the base bid and alternate number 1 of Allied Painting Services Inc. in the amount of $28,900 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid and to award the the contract for the Knock Knolls Nature Center exterior staining and painting work, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $30,345. 6.10, accept the base bid of KWCC Inc. in the amount of $314,880 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid, and to award the contract for the Commissioners Park Irrigation Pump House and Site Work Project, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project not to exceed $330,624. 6.11, accept the base bid of Midwest Ecological Services Inc. in the amount of $53,989.50 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid, and to award the contract for the Old Farm Greenway shoreline restoration work, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $56,688.98. 6.12, accept the base bid of Midwest Ecological Services Inc. in the amount of $53,989.50 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid, and to award the contract for the Old Farm Greenway shoreline restoration work, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $56,688.98. 6.13, approve the agreement with Diligent for board meeting management and document storage. 6.14, award the contract for the Kroller Park Playground renovation project to Hacienda Landscaping in the amount of $131,073.50, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $137,627.18. 6.15, award the contract for the Meadow Glens Playground renovation project to Hacienda Landscaping, Inc. in the amount of $95,958, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $100,755.90. 6.16, award the contract for the West Greens Playground renovation project to Innovation Landscape, Inc. in the amount of $145,122.35, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $152,378.47. 6.17, approve Ordinance 1073 declaring the property as outlined in Exhibit A as surplus property.
Should any items be removed from...
Madam Vice President,
Sorry.
I believe we missed 6.12. 611 was twice. Yep.
Like tic-tac-toe, right?
Sorry about that. 6.12, accept the base bid of Murphy Construction Services, LLC in the amount of $380,871 as the lowest responsive and responsible bid, and to award the contract for the Frontier Sports Complex Central Parking Lot renovation Phase 1 work, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $399,914.55.
Thank you, and thanks again. Should any items be removed from consent agenda and considered separately? Seeing none,
Move to accept the consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.17.
Second.
roll call, please.
Commissioner Anzier?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Balakrishna?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Griswold?
Yes.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.17.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See no unfinished or new business. We will now move on to the annual meeting, and I will turn the meeting over to Executive Director Wilson.
Very good. At this time, I will now accept nominations for the office of president.
I nominate Leslie Ruffing for president.
No. If there are no further nominations, I will now accept a motion to close the nominations for the office of president.
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? When your name is called, please indicate your choice for the office of president. Marissa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Anzier?
Leslie Ruffing.
Commissioner Balakrishna,
Leslie Ruffing.
Commissioner Jacks,
Leslie Ruffin.
Commissioner Jenner,
Leslie Ruffing.
Commissioner Risbald,
Leslie Ruffing.
Commissioner Ruffing,
Leslie Ruffing.
Commissioner Thompson.
Leslie Ruffing.
With 7 votes, Commissioner Ruffing is elected president. Congratulations, President Ruffing.
Thank you. All right, I will now accept nominations for the office of Vice President.
I nominate Rhonda Ansier.
If there are no further nominations, I will accept a motion to close the nominations for the office of Vice President.
Move to close.
Second.
This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? When your name is called, please indicate your choice for the office of Vice President. Marissa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ansier,
Rhonda Ansier.
It's weird, isn't it?
Commissioner Balakrishna,
Rhonda Ansier.
Commissioner Jacks,
Rhonda Ansier.
Commissioner Janner,
Rhonda Ansier.
Commissioner Risbald,
Rhonda Ansier.
Commissioner Ruffing,
Rhonda Ansier.
Commissioner Thompson.
Rhonda Ansier.
With 7 votes, Commissioner Ansier is elected Vice President. Congratulations, Vice President Ansier. Now we will move on to appointment of Board Treasurer. Yes, you do the motion. The move.
Move to appoint Tricia Dubiel as Board Treasurer.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ansier,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Balakrishna,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks,
Yes.
Commissioner Janner,
Yes.
Commissioner Risbald,
Yes.
President Ruffing.
Yes. Congratulations. Okay, you can do the secretary. Yep. On to secretary.
Move to appoint Marissa Kula as Board Secretary.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ansier,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Balakrishna,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks,
Yes.
Commissioner Janner,
Yes.
Commissioner Risbald,
Yes.
President Ruffing.
Yes. Officially welcome aboard. Awesome. All right. Our next, our next scheduled meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners is June 26th, 2025 at 6:30 PM here at Fort Hill, and we do have executive session.
Move to adjourn to executive session per Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ansier,
That's a lot of roll call.
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Balakrishna,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks,
Yes.
Commissioner Janner,
Yes.
Commissioner Risbald,
Yes.
President Ruffing.
Yes.